Yo, welcome back to another episode of Turning Him Up. I'm your boy LP82 along with my co-host.
Young Tig, a.k.a. Wordplay.
And of course,
Cousin Dwaine, baby.
yes, so we gather every podcast. I was about to say Sunday. This is Monday. Happy Memorial Day for the people out there celebrating and stuff like that.
Shout out to the vets.
Yes, sir. So, of course, Cousin Dwaine, he has the questions. So, let's get into it.
Random. I have to go there. Do either one of y'all like Arby's?
Arby's?
We have the
Arby's?
meats. Yeah.
I only been to Arby's one time, and it was all right. Wasn't like something I keep going back to. It was cool, though.
Their French dip is to die for.
Wow.
No, it's all right. It's cool.
I don't even hear about Arby's too much.
Yeah. Yeah,
What
me
you
either.
think of it?
Well, Arby's is a sandwich place. It got replaced by Subway and everything else.
Arby's is cool. It's not really my thing. But I asked the question because I seen a commercial today. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, who really actually cares about Arby's? Like, when you really think about it, like, no one, you never hear nobody say, like, hey, let's go pull up at Arby's one time. Like,
True.
But anyways, let's get it going, man. Off top, man, how do y'all feel with relationships? We've been talking a lot about this for the last couple of weeks, just relationship things. Do y'all think in relationships women are more emotional than men are? Or do y'all think that us as men too, we got a different type of way of being emotional? We just don't necessarily show it. But in y'all opinion, be honest here. Be transparent, guys. Are we more emotional than women? Let's be honest.
I think some men are more emotional. It just depending on who you dealing with. Females, I think, tend to be more emotional in a relationship, but I think there is some men that's emotional also.
In what ways do you think women are more emotional?
I think they're more attached. I think when they want a commitment, they want a commitment. They want you to be there and show that you care about them, and things of that sort. And a lot of men is not, they not on that. You know what I'm saying?
Stiff arm.
Well, how you feel about that?
Um,
More emotional.
Well, there's different kinds of looking at it, because then you got to look at it like there's the emotional, sad, why you're not talking to me, da 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 da. Then there's the other emotional, you get mad at everything. It's all emotion. So I think men and women both equally share emotions in the relationship. It's just, it all depends on the person. So I say typically more men, they typically get more angry and more, they have a, short fuse and stuff like that, where women, they more emotional, crying, so on and so forth. But in my relationship, I can kind of say my wife, she's more passive than I am. So technically, I get angry faster. So I would say I probably would be the more emotional one, but as far as anger. But she's more passive. She's more just it's not that serious. And I'm more like, it's not serious all the time, but certain things, when it bothers me, it bothers me. You get what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, as men, I think we tend to think that outburst of anger is not emotional. But it is.
It is
but
emotional.
we can be more emotional than women when it comes to that, because we get angry just at some of the littlest things sometimes. And
Yes.
I say it depends on the type of woman, too, who you with, because there's some women that just aren't emotional at all. They know how to control their emotions, than others that they don't. I think a lot of it is attributed to, of course, their upbringing. So when we talk about, upbringing, a man and his father, or a woman and her mother, do you guys think that the way a man treats his mom is most of the time very, mirrored to how he treats his girlfriend? Or do you guys think it's more so like, it's a separatism there? Or do you think he gets that from how he treats his mother?
Well, so-called mama's boy, I don't think I am, but everybody else swears that I am.
Well, are you?
No, I'm not gonna say I'm a mama's boy. I'm more like, I just love my mama. That's it.
Mm.
It's not, people tend to like, oh, you look. Nah, it's not that. I just care about my mama. That's it. But do I believe that's true? Yes and no. Because doing things for your mom, you feel like that's your mom. Like it's different. With a woman, it's more. Sometimes you kind of look at a thing kind of more like temporary. Like anything can happen, and then this can go away. My mom that's my mom. Like she's never gonna go away. Unless that. But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I don't think it necessarily mean like the way you treat your mom is the way you're gonna treat your girl. I don't think that's not necessarily true because it depends on what female you dealing with too. You know what I'm saying? Some guys may treat their mom with respect, but treat their girl like trash because of the way she act. You know what I mean, or something like that. But so I don't think that necessarily mean that because you treat your mom with respect, you're gonna treat your girl with respect.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Um, Pushing forward, man, in this conversation of just moms and family relationships
Love you,
and all that
mama.
stuff, man. Yeah, shout out to all the moms out there. You guys, I'm not a parent yet, but you guys are parents, and I know you guys have had a lot of tough conversation with your kids, even at an early age. Do you guys think that for other parents, just advice wise, do you think you should be able to talk to your kids about sex and where babies come from and all that stuff? Or do you think it's pointless because eventually they'll kind of figure out on their own?
I think when they become of age, like when they're in their teens, I think it's good to kind of have that sit down with them and kind of let them know, what's going on before they come home with babies and all that. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of give them a heads up and let them know, what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Especially guys. You know what I'm saying? If you have a little boy or he's in his teens.
Get him, son.
You
Get
know what
him.
I'm saying? Like just to know what comes from it, because boys. I know when I was younger, 13, 14, I was curious. I was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So I think it is good to have that sit down with them. Mainly boys though.
If your daughter comes to you, asking you this question, how does that conversation look?
That's your mom. Go to your mom.
What
Well,
moms at work?
I'm like me personally, like it all. Like I have sisters and stuff like that, so in majority of my sisters had kids real young. So and even my mom had kids really, really young. So to me, to be honest with you, whoever they trust to come with too, I think you should just take that moment for what it is. They trust you enough to come talk to you. So if you turn them away, I think that they will. It might go completely left. So
I wouldn't turn them away. If they asking me something as a parent, I feel like it is my duty to try to do the best I can by explaining it or, kind of letting them know what's ahead for them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just really curious as to what y'all say when these
no,
conversations.
I don't know
come up.
what I'm gonna say, but
How
I
about
know
we
for
role play
sure.
this? How about we
I
role
know
play?
for sure. My son, I already know how it's gonna be.
All right, let's do it.
I might be Boosie or some shit like. Nah, I'm playing. Nah, I'm gonna tell him straight up. Like he come to me talking about it. I'm gonna tell him straight up about everything. Like I ain't gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him his condoms and pat him on his back and say, "Go get him, son."
Wow.
Hey, yo, I'll tell him this much though, for sure. Like, don't make any decision with any woman that you meet at that age and think that they're gonna be that same person when you 20, like 10, 15, 20 years down the
That's a
line.
good game right there.
Like if you whatever you do, if you can't see yourself with her in 10 years, don't do it, because it can easily, you know what I'm saying. So
I think that's where a lot of mistakes is made. When they get their first love or they first, piece of something, you know what I mean? They want to,
Piece of something. You want to elaborate?
sex, you know what I'm saying? At an age, maybe they 14, 15, they tend to, go far with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be with this person and all that. And that might not be the person that's meant for you. You know what I'm saying? I think it's better to test the waters out and,
You know what the crazy thing is? I just talked to a couple guys. They're probably like 20, 21, 22 around there. And then I asked them, they're like, oh, they got their girlfriend. So I asked them how long they been with their girls. They're like 5 years. I'm like, what? 20? So, like, you mean to tell me, like, I always heard that high school sweetheart thing. Okay, cool. But 21, 22, you've been in a relationship for 5 years? How?
That commitment level is incredible.
But I'm just saying, like, how? How? I don't know.
Then you got people that they might been with the same person since elementary, junior high, and still hanging strong with that person.
I got a story about that. So, right, my grandmother. She knew this guy, whatever.
Before you tell this story,
it's
LP,
not gonna go into
no, LP. Why do you have that mask on right now?
I don't know, like
really bothering me right now.
Oh, because I had it on my neck, so I said, "Fuck it." I'm sorry. Damn, I just rolled it up. Like it is what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? We stay doing our thing here. But my grandmother, she met this guy in elementary. They were boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever. They broke up. They moved on. They went on with their lives, had kids, married, and blah, 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 this and that. Years later, that same couple, same man, came back to my grandmother and they got married. They've been married for like 30 years though, right? They have the best relationship I have ever seen anybody have. Like literally, they don't even go to the restroom without asking the other person to go. All right, I'm exaggerating, but you get the point.
You lost me on that one.
You get the point. So I'm just saying,
Sounds
it's
like
just
abuse.
there's some people that you are going to meet while you're young, and they're going to share a lot of the qualities that you want as you get older. So it's not bad to meet somebody and be with them, but in this day and age, I just don't see how. So that's my thing. Grandma, grandpa, I love you.
What's your take on it, cuz?
Yeah, when I do have kids, of course, we're gonna have the conversation about the birds and the bees and all that stuff. But it's just all in time. It's like anything you explain to your kids at a young age. Some things they don't grasp, they don't understand it. But I think generally dads are better at telling that story for some reason. Just like when it comes to disciplining your kids, I tend to think that like fathers are like better at doing it, I guess historically, but I could be wrong. So let me ask y'all, do y'all believe in whooping your kids or disciplining them or handling it in a different way that doesn't involve actually whooping their kids?
I think it depends on what kind of kids you have. Like if it's something where explaining it to them that it just don't get it, yeah, I think you might need to go further with either whooping them or taking something away or something like that. Something that where it's gonna stop them from doing that whatever it is they doing. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever it is that they doing, you want to make sure they stop doing it. If it's something that's gonna be bad or whatever they doing. So I feel like sometimes just talking to the kids it don't work. You gotta go a little further. Maybe take something from them, or even a whooping might work. Maybe whoopings they tend to hurt. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want that whooping again. So they gonna stop doing what they do.
What do you think worked for you guys? I mean, we'll go with you, T. What worked for you as a kid? Do you think got you back on track? Was it more the whoopings or the talks?
Well, with me, I'll probably say whooping. I didn't like getting whoopings, so I would probably say whoopings at that age. I was young when I was getting whoopings, so I didn't like that. So that kind of got me on more of a straight path.
I didn't really get whooped a lot. Like, man, my brothers was fuck up, so it was so easy for me to slide through the cracks. So a lot of the shit that I learned from is because they fucked up so much. So I learned from just watching them not to do certain things or not to be a part of certain things, like not to kind of like throw them like out there like that. But shit, they were fuck ups. Like they got this. Well, one of them do.
Well, how did you know like at that time that they was like? I'm assuming you was a kid, pretty young at that
Yeah.
time. But how did you know and already know that they were screw ups? Was that something like your
Well,
parents said, or you kind of just watched them? You was like, I'm gonna calculate it as they're just screwing up, whatever they're doing.
well, so my oldest brother, he lived with his dad, so a lot of his stuff that was going on, I really couldn't like, I didn't have the first hand of whatever, but I know he was, out there whatever doing it, gangbang whatever. Then my brother that's right above me, he I seen everything firsthand with him as far as, the arguments with my mom and stressing my mom out, in and out of juvenile hall and stuff like that. So that stuff alone kind of made me like, hell no, I'm not about to go through all that. So, that was just for me, just watching the stuff he's been through, the stuff he did go through. And then, just shit, that alone. That shit was like, fuck that. Like, hell no. And then, too, I think a lot of it has to do a lot of with the group of friends you had, too. So my group of friends were, like, kind of way different. I had majority of my friends were, like, both parents in the house, both parents good jobs. So a lot of the stuff they were doing, it was, like, kind of like, when I would hang with them, it was never I was really doing shit bad. Like,
Right.
So just that type of shit. I'm sorry for cussing.
Nah, I think that you should find alternate methods of disciplining your kids that doesn't involve you physically hitting them. I think that we, of course, all grew up in a generation where it was common to give whoopings in the household or to get discipline. But I think that there's so many other ways you can go about doing it now. I think, of course, it depends on the type of kids you have. Some of these kids are just kind of got a lot of things that they're dealing with personally. So
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to answer that one. But thinking about, I'll go back to you because your situations, you guys have totally different, unique situations as well as myself. As far as knowledge growing up, what would you take now and bring to your past, or what would you take from your past and bring in now that you've learned that you understand or look at differently?
I would say what I would take back now, like just finances and stuff like that. Try to steer my younger self from making stupid decisions with money, stuff like that. And what would I bring to myself from the past to now? I would say, you know what, to be honest with you, just kind of like the younger me was more, I was more energetic. I was more outdoorsy. Now it's kind of seemed like I slowed down a lot. I probably tell myself never to give that up.
Oh, you was an outdoors person?
Well, like, as a kid, like, my summers was like, get your little local best friend and shit and hit the streets. Like, not like that, but like exploring,
Was you
throwing
into camping
rocks.
and stuff?
Huh?
Was you into camping and stuff?
I've camped before, but like you said, my parents, they weren't like that. It was more like me. Like I was that type of kid that'd be like, all right, there's that tree over there, it's tall as well. I'm gonna climb it and I'm gonna try to jump off it and all that type of shit. Like, or go on top of buildings and like I was just that type of kid. Like I just
Spider-Man?
not like that, just like an adventurous kid. Like I just always was outside doing something, fucking around, throwing rocks and shit. Like, having rock fights and shit like that. Dumb
Rock
shit.
fights.
Like
I was definitely the same way, and
I used to fuck people up.
something that I would take from the past and bring it to now. I mean, like, cause back then, I was more energetic, just like LP. I was more energetic in life, and I think it's due to technology. I think that's the reason why a lot of people slowed down, and so I would bring that. You know what I'm saying? Bring back the fact of actually talking to people, interacting with people a lot more. A lot of people want to use the internet and use the things of that sort to conversate and all that, like, instead of having that one-on-one. You know what I mean? So that's what I would take from the past and bring it to now is more interaction with people think and actually going out places and doing things. You know, a lot of people want to sit at home and just be on their phone all day. You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all see that
Fans
like
only.
how it's impacted the kids? Because you know, like when we was younger, we wanted to go outside and play all kind of sports, do all kind of stuff, or have rock fights.
Smear the queer.
See,
That
it was,
too.
you know, when we was younger, it was more of that go outside and play. You know, the generation today is more, you know, I'm just be on my iPad all day and or video games, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie
Ain't really
though.
too much active playing. You know.
Hey, who don't remember that one friend that had all the video games? Everybody used to be at his fucking house.
Yeah.
Everybody bike in front of that nigga house.
Yeah, bro, that game probably didn't get it back. Probably had
Man,
something wrong with it when he got it back.
NBA jams.
Man, you know what I'm noticing too with these kids, man, is I'm noticing so many differences with them not wanting to be outside and then being cooped in the house and then dealing with depression differently than it's more. I think I read an article a week ago. It was talking about how like people now are more depressed in this generation than they were when like it was like World War I or something like that. Like, and we got more stuff now. We got more technology, all kind of stuff. So. When y'all were in school, man, think about when y'all was back in school. What was some of the things that, or one or two of the things that y'all feel like that they've taken away from this generation now that they need to bring back for these kids to kind of, you know, get back into socializing a little bit more and getting off they phones and stuff?
Again, I would say technology, just interacting with people more. This slowed a lot of people down. I believe is technology. It's good in a way. I think it has its good points, but then it has its bads too. You know what I mean? Like you want to have more interaction with people. So I would
Facts.
say that.
Facts.
Shoot. I ain't gonna lie. I wish I did have some of the damn technology when I was in high school. High school would have been a breeze, bro. Like nowadays, it's like. Oh, I would say one thing though too, though penmanship. Like people don't write no more at all.
Man, facts.
So that would be one thing that I would say that is going to be like one of those type of things that they should bring back or what have you, whatever. But damn, I wish I had technology back when I was in high school. Like just for like educational purposes, like man, there would be no book report that they can throw at me. Do one of this, I got you. I'll be back tomorrow. 10 pages done. Like, yeah. So I don't know, technology. It like I say, has good things and bad things too. So
What's bad about technology besides? I mean, for y'all, like let's take it away from the kids. How have y'all seen technology impact y'all's grown adults?
Just everything is. Oh, you talking about good or bad?
We go bad. You'll do bad. LP, you do good.
all right, I got you.
We'll do Stephen A.
Perfect,
Smith
boy.
and Max Kellerman style.
Nah, bad. It's just more. That is like that's all they want to do is just be on technology. I think that's the only bad thing about technology is that it's no other focus but technology. You know what I'm saying? There's an outside world that people need to interact with. And a lot of people get so in tune with technology that that's all they do. You know what I mean? And there's more to it than that. So I would say that's the only bad thing about it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right, so the good thing about technology, as me as myself and as an adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Porn, it's accessible, it's free. Get you some. I remember as a kid, it was so hard. I used to come across this stuff like in the weirdest places, magazines, video, all that. Now it's so accessible. So yes, I would say porn for technology, good thing.
That's a good
Free.
rebuttal to that one.
Free.
Or you just gonna take
Free.
that L on the chin?
Like, have you ever been to a porn store and seen how much they cost?
Where's
I seen a videotape for $100 one time.
This is getting dark.
But I'm just saying, as an adult, everything else is cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? But a good thing.
Ever since LP took that mask off, it took a twist. It took a dark twist, man. Rock fighting.
If I had to say good, I think, and this is really good because everything is a lot more accessible. Like as far as learning and you can all you got to do is watch a tutorial on YouTube
That's
if
a
you want to
fact.
fix anything, or anything you want, you can get the answer to on the internet or whatever. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
where to
saying?
find
So,
free porn. Yeah,
Oh my god.
X videos. Look it
Um,
up.
yeah, that's what I was saying.
So thinking about when y'all was younger, I'm thinking about it too. I was talking to a friend the other day about, man, this method of peer pressure these days. It's over the top, man. It's ridiculous. You see it. That's part of the bad parts about social media is how much peer pressure there is without someone actually telling you to do something directly. But how celebrities live, it's a sort of pressure to want to live up to those things, man. So I'm thinking about peer pressure. Do you guys think that there's more peer pressure today because of social media, or do you think it's more so just because of the times we're living in general?
You saying peer pressure for like what? Like, because when I hear peer pressure, it's usually drugs or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Peer
You
pressure?
saying
Peer
more of
pressure?
that?
Mm-hmm. Let's talk. Let's say maybe influencing. Maybe you can talk about how you dress, how you think.
Yeah, I
how
would
you speak.
definitely say it's more peer pressure now than it was before, 'cause for the simple fact everything is accessible more now. Like you can go get pills, go get any. It's always somebody that knows somebody with something. You know what I mean? So, I would definitely say that. And when people got it, you got to just have enough mind control to not do it. If that's not something you do. So I would say, yeah, peer pressure is more now than back before.
Hmm. And for LP, for you, do you think that peer pressure happens for adults?
Of course it does. Yeah, on a day to day basis, of course. Peer pressure. Nobody is like free of peer pressure. Hell, like when you turn on ads and stuff like that, or when you're watching, when you're on even on your Instagram feed, you be going around, look at that stuff. That's like a form of peer pressure. Like I know you need it. That's why I'm here. Buy it. So it's everybody deals with it.
When is the last time you guys can say for either one of you that you've can honestly say you've succumbed to peer pressure, like you fell for it, like you went for it?
Uh, Nothing has ever really been peer pressure for me. I mean, it's
You just
things
had a
that.
rib in the house because someone told you to. No, just
Eat that
No, I'm
rib,
saying
boy.
if
Eat
I
that
if I
rib.
did anything, it's because I wanted to do it. It wasn't nobody that held a gun up to my head or
so
made me want to do it like that.
you've never got suckered into peer pressure as an adult.
No, I never. Is if I did anything that I did is because I wanted to do it, or it's just something I wanted to do. It wasn't anybody that tried to make me do it or anything like that.
Strong-willed man. LP, how about you?
Yeah, I've been peer pressure as an adult. When I be trying to be on my little, I'm not gonna do this and do that, eat this or eat that. Shit, somebody coming with some donuts, peer pressure. Get the fuck out of here! Ah! Nah, I've never been on some like serious, like my life depended on peer pressure, but I've like I say, everybody deals with peer pressure on a day to day basis. So
It's definitely one of them things that I could see on either level for youth and for adults.
yeah,
I mean, we all deal with peer pressure no matter what situation we in, whether we at work, at home, wherever it may be at. Um, what about using your past, things that you went through, things that you failed at? How often do y'all find yourself using that as like a dialogue with y'all kids to make a point? Like you bringing up your past, like where any flaws you've had, because how some parents don't want their kids to really know that they got chinks in their armor a little bit. But how often do y'all see yourself using, like, kind of bringing up things that you might have failed at in the past to just to kind of talk to your kids about stuff?
Well, I don't really bring things up in my past to talk to my kids because I know I wasn't perfect. You know what I'm saying? And times has changed. It's a different generation. So I don't think you can kind of relate your past to theirs. You know what I'm saying? To what's going on with them today. I think it's better to guide them and mold them to do the right thing. But as far as bringing up your past or whatever, I mean, if you had a good past like that and you know what I'm saying, you can give them some knowledge on it. That's cool. But for me, I don't bring up my past or anything. I just let them know. Just try to mold them and make them, not make them, but guide them to do the right thing.
Why is it? Why is it something that you? I know that's your choice to do that, but what is some of the reasons that drives you not to want to bring up your past to with your kids?
Just because it's there. What I did in my past, I don't think is gonna relate to what they're doing in today's generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, I might have did it a whole. It was different times. It might have been a reason why I did it back in the day versus why you doing it. But if it's a legitimate reason, or if it's something I could be like, all right, it's something that's real relatable from my past to theirs, and they can learn from it. Yeah, I'll give them that. But if it's not something like, because it's totally different generation today. It ain't even the same from when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? From what they was going on today. So
Hmm. LP.
Hey, how's it going? Um, well, that's crazy you brought that up because just recently, I did kind of like tell them because as a young man, I lied a lot to get what I can. That's just what I did. I lied. And I explained that to I have two teen daughters at the house that I used to lie and say anything. So these boys, they're gonna lie and they're gonna say anything. So like stuff like that, it's like I said, that I don't think that so much has changed. Like the behavior of young men is still the behavior of young men. Now how they go about, getting at girls and stuff like that is different. But as far as the attitude, it's pretty much the same thing. So shit, like that's what lying. Like boys will lie. They gonna tell you the world. Try to give it to you too. So yeah.
One of my professors posed this question to us in my first semester. That was kind of like something that made me think about like when I do get into this position. But I'm gonna pose it to you guys. Do you guys feel like your children are building the skills to recover from being broken?
what you mean?
So thinking about your role as a dad, and we just talked about, is it good to bring up things in your past? Maybe if your kid's dealing with depression and you've dealt with depression, and some of those conversations can be kind of dark. But do you guys, looking at your kids right now, do you guys think your kids are building those skills to recover from being hurt, from being broken, like maybe going through depression? Do you guys think you're doing that right now as parents, or do y'all credit that more to your better halves, or what do you guys think your kids are building those skills up?
Well, I think they definitely have to experience it first before it actually happens. Like, they have to go through different situations. That's just a part of life. You have to go through different things to build character and all of that. So, with them right now, they're too young to even go through a lot. The best thing I could do is mold them and guide them the right way. But um, at the end of the day, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna go through different things that they have to deal with. It's not everything is gonna be smooth. That's not the way the world works. It's always gonna be some problems ahead, or different things that go on that they got to deal with. But that molds them to be a better person, to be stronger, and different things like that. So they definitely have to experience it on their own.
Let's and I we can go we gonna dig into that one deeper too with ULP. But I kind of want to go back a little bit with that last one we were talking about bringing up those things in the past. When you were younger, did you have anybody that when you were going through any things you were going through personally or mentally or whatever? Did you have anybody that you could speak to that are around you that brought up maybe their past to use that to help you get through any situations?
Nah, cause it's kind like I said, it's kind of trick. It's kind of weird. Like I'm not gonna sit up and say like I had like a like of course my stepdad he drove cross country, so he wasn't home as much. But when he was home, like he always tells little things here and there. But as far as like on a day to day basis, as far as how I lived my life, pretty much it's weird because everybody in some sense always felt like I was okay.
Mm.
So it was never like they see me going down that path or see me doing certain things where, yo, don't do that, don't do that. It was more like, don't be like me type shit. Like they'll just come out like my brother, God rest his soul, when he was young, when he was doing this thing, he used to come tell me all the time, bro, I don't want you to be like me. Don't be like me. He used to be on my head, go in the house. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, that type of shit, yeah, like that's all I ever had. I didn't see it no other way. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to deal with it like that.
So do y'all both feel like, as adults, that y'all have built up the skills to recover from being broken and things that y'all go with? Because you guys both pretty much were pointed about, your kids. Do you guys think as men that y'all have built up enough skills and enough things to recover from being broken or dealing with going through depression and stuff like that?
I think it's always, good to have, I think with us today, it's it builds character to go through different things and all of that. So, you know, with depression, it's kind of like you gotta go through it. I've been through it a lot, but it's always something I could work on. You know what I'm saying? It's always something I could grow from or whatever. I think I've built up enough skill to deal with a lot of things now that I couldn't deal with before. I have a lot of more patience now. You know, in dealing with people. And I built my character a lot from the things that I went through in my past. So,
How did you get through it
uh, God, you know what I'm saying? It was a time where I was at my lowest, and only person I could call on was him, and he was there every step of the way. So things where I didn't even know where I was gonna find my next meal, and or how I was gonna last throughout the day, and he somehow made it happen for me, and it was always a time where I was like, how did it even happen like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did I even last throughout the week with $60 in my pocket, and that's it, and I still got gas and food and all of that. So, that it definitely builds character, going through different things, and just dealing with people too. I had a short temper, in my past, where with dealing with people, and as it happens so much, with repetition, you start to learn, how to deal with certain people, what not to do. Like like me at work, I'm a totally different person at work than I am when I'm out of work, because I know how to handle a situation. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it's business there. I can't be acting all rowdy and all of that there, like I do, when I'm here or with my family or whatever. So, you know. Yeah, I think it definitely builds character.
Yeah, I think and the reason why I ask these questions because we all know it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I feel like as three black men, it's important for us to talk about these things. We talk about kids, we talk about family relationships, but we also have to talk about mental health because as men, things drive us crazy too, having these responsibilities and stuff like that. Um, and having that blessing of having kids and that responsibility, what lessons have y'all learned from y'all children? Since y'all been dads for a minute now, what lessons do you think y'all have learned? I'll start with you, LP, from your kids.
Well, with my daughter is different. The one thing I learned from her is to make sure, no matter what, to get that conversation in. Because there was a time where I wasn't doing it like that, and she showed it, and without saying it, she showed it. So I have to get that conversation in with her. With my son, I don't know. He's still rowdy shit. I learned to become a professional ass whooper. I don't know. With him, it's more like I'm tired. but Dad, I want you to play a game with me. All right, man. Give me give me the game. And what my two stepdaughters, man. I ain't gonna lie. I love them to death. Headaches, but I love them to death. And I think with them, I've learned to be able to, no matter what, to stand there and just say, you know what, I'm here because I want to be here and I love y'all. Because I could be like skip to my loo up out the door real quick, but I'm here for y'all regardless. So I would say that's what all of them I've learned.
Built up a great deal of patience. It sounds like.
To a certain extent, I still be having my haywire days, man. Psh, man, but for the most part, even with the oldest, I tend to kind of like hear her out because when her and her mom be being girls and having their little differences, whatever. I tend to kind of like be the one that hears her out and then kind of see it from her point of view on how things are instead of just always, jumping on her head like, what the fuck? Because I used to be like that. I used to be quick to be like, what the fuck?
What made you change? Like, what helped you change?
Because this like it comes to a point to where you start to realize, you was young once. I remember my days of closing the door and call my mom all kinds of names, hoping she didn't hear me. You know what I'm saying? Go do it. What? Go in the room, close the door, and just have a good time. Hope. What you say? Oh, nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I know how it is to be a kid, and not only be a kid, but be in situations that you don't want to be in or you don't want to do. So I tend to kind of like, I understand that. I understand why you're frustrated. You got to do this or you got to do that. Because I was like that. You know what I'm saying? So just that type of stuff. Just, coming to a level of understanding. So I think that's what it is. Just understanding. That for all of them, understanding. Understanding.
Do you feel like your kids can kind of peer pressure you into
Yeah.
changing how you are as a parent?
I mean, with my kids is they definitely motivate me to want to do something, do something more, to keep them living comfortable, to have them to not want for anything. I want my kids to have the best, you know what I'm saying? And, every time I look at them, I'm happy. They like my everything, you know what I'm saying? So, with them, they definitely motivate me to go to work and push harder to try to make more money and things of that sort, because, that's for me, that's who I got that holds me together for sure.
So, closing up with these last two questions, man. I'm learning a lot, man. Just listening to both of you guys, both parents. It's incredible, man, to see that. If you can change one thing about this generation of kids today, what would it be and why?
One thing I would change, I would want them to see the opportunities that they have and stop complaining. This generation have it so made. Well, outside of coronavirus, this shit. I ain't gonna lie, this is whack. Speaking of that, my nephew, he's graduated from high school. Like,
Tell him I said congratulations.
yeah, but it's just sad. Like, not sad. I'm happy to see him, but he's just, man. Like Friday was supposed to be his prom, and it was supposed to be my prom. Like, what the fuck? Like, well, nah, it was. Shit, I don't know how that shit worked, but you know what I'm saying. But stuff like that. But other than that, it's just like you guys understand. You guys are lucky. You got everything at your fingertips. It's like there's no reason why you shouldn't know nothing. There's no reason why like you shouldn't know how to do any. Like what the hell? Like man, people are becoming chefs and all kinds of stuff off the internet. Like there's no kid that should be sitting in the house talking about, oh, I don't know. Or where's that? Where do you go to do? Like you have everything at your fingertips. I wish that they would see how lucky that they are outside of coronavirus. COVID-19 sucks, but yeah.
I would definitely say that too. With kids, when you was younger, you kind of like had to make more moves on your own, or a lot of
Exactly.
people that had to make moves on their own. So when kids got it and they got pretty much everything they want. They comfortable. Some could tend to be spoiled. At times, some could be like and don't realize how grateful they. You know what I'm saying? how good they got it, because there's a lot
Exactly.
of kids out there that don't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't even got a mom or a pops. They living with somebody. You know what I mean? And probably doing what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with kids today, I know with my kids, they're grateful. But at times they could be, kind of spoiled in a way, to where they feel like, oh, you got money, you gonna give it to me anyway. So I think that's one thing I would change with kids today is just for them to be more grateful though.
Big facts, man. In closing, man, we're gonna get deep here, guys. We did random when we started off. We're gonna get deep here. What is your greatest fear as a parent, barring death?
Okay.
Anything other than that, you're taking death out. What is your greatest parenting fear?
Mine's personally is for them to grow up and not be happy at what they do for a living. I want That's my biggest thing. I want them to be happy at who they are and what they do. I don't care what it is. I don't care how much you make. If you can wake up every day and say, I like going to whatever location, or whether it's your computer, whatever it is, like, I'm happy for you. I am extremely happy for you. My biggest fear is for them to tell me, Dad, I hate my life. That shit, like, what
That
the
is a fear for sure.
like, I hate my life. I hate what I do. Cause trust me, that shit right there, I don't care who you are. That I don't care how much money you make. If you don't like what you do, that shit gonna show to you, especially to your family. I think that's my biggest fear for them not to be happy at who they are and what they do. That's my biggest fear.
I think with mine, greatest fear as a parent is for my kids to grow up being something that I don't condone, like like doing something that I don't condone. Just like maybe like females being rats and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like something that
Master Splinters?
Just
you know what I'm saying? Doing something that they know that's not how they was raised, and they going outside of something that they wasn't even raised like that. You know what I mean? That'll probably be my only fear.
Yeah, I mean that's a.
You know,
If your daughter came to you and you went through something in your past that was similar, but it was probably something you're not proud of. In this situation, you see them going down the wrong path or whatever. At that point, would you then bring up anything in your past to help stir them the right way? Because I know you mentioned earlier you said you wouldn't, but in this situation, if you don't want them turning into a master splinter, you better get your Ninja Turtles on.
well, see, wait, that's what I'm saying.
That's a good one.
I can't relate nothing in my past because I messed up. With a lot of things in my past. At a young age, I was, messing with females, and at that age, but that's something I learned from, and you know, I express it to them and try to guide them and mold them to do the right thing. That's the only thing you can really do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I wouldn't bring up my past or anything like that. Nah, I wouldn't do that.
like witness protection or some shit. Like, yo, nah, dude, hey, don't go in those files now. Daddy.
Nah, man, this is. I mean, I love hearing you guys' opinion on this stuff, man. It's really interesting because I don't have kids yet, but I can only imagine how it must be day to day being a father, man. Being not just being a father, but y'all deal with other things outside being black men as well in the world. So
I think kids definitely motivate you to push harder, or and want more for yourself and your kids. You know what I'm saying? I think kids play a big part in your life if you have them. You know what I'm saying? And it is some people out there that don't want nothing to do with their kids. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people out there, but for the most part, if you do want something to do with your kids, you tend to really want something to do with your kids. You love them and you want the best for them, so you're gonna do whatever it takes for them to be on the right track and do what they need to do.
that's facts. No mas for me.
Oh, okay. So, hey, how's it going, world? Of course, this is the end of the show. We had a great. Well, he's always a host, but he did his thing today. I like his little segues and all that type of stuff. He did good. He did outstanding. Oh, and also, please let the world know about the project.
Edward the Middle on Instagram. Please download the project Popcorn. It's my first EP.
And it slap.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate the support everybody that has listened to it already.
Yes, sir. And also, you can find me at Legacy LP82. OnlyFans. I'm playing. Or is it fans only? I don't know. I just put up videos. I don't know the name of it. No, I'm playing.
You can find me on Hymmdup, HYMMDUP Music on Instagram.
How you spell music?
MUZIK.
It's like
MUZIK. That's HYMMDUP MUZIK. And Hymmdup on YouTube.
yes. So, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been great. This is show to let me know what I need to do as a father and what I've been doing good as a father.
Are you guys also going to give them your other page? You guys Black Man Cuddle page?
Black Man Cuddle page. Well, Black Man Cuddle page. Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'll be on there. You know what I'm saying? I'll be cuddling like a motherfucker. Huggy. They call me OG Cuddles. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for tuning in. I'm your boy LP82 along with my co-host.
Young Tig, a.k.a. Wordplay.
And
Cousin Dwaine, baby.
yes, sir. And we're out.
Turn to him up. Turn to him up. Podcast. Turn to him up. Turn to him up.